Hey, how's it going guys? Welcome back for another card review. So in this video we're going to talk about a brand new series that MadHead has just randomly dropped on us. This is called the Metal Life series, right? As directly translated from Chinese, right? And then this series here is gonna be a series in the whole Diamond Seal pool, right? Which means that it is literally the same event that we have during the Chinese New Year, right? Which is for the Shindu series. What are they called? The Gold Horn, Silver Horn, 猪八戒 series, right? So basically what we have here is another 10 draw guarantee 1 kind of event, right? So everybody know how well that went previously, right? So without further ado, I'm gonna do a breakdown on these 5 cards and whether or not they are actually good to draw, and whether you should draw them or not. So let's take a look at the first card in the series. So I'm gonna go through the Dark Machina first, right? So name to be confirmed is called Sigma. Active skill is at CD6, right? So its skill is to deduct HP, self HP to 1. So there's a self foul play skill right there, right? So team HP reduced to 1, and then with that being said, this skill cannot be activated if your current HP is at 1. Right, so for 1 round, attack times 2.5 for 3 Machina member with the highest base attack value. Right, so skill wise it's a bit similar towards 猪八戒, right? But 猪八戒 boosts Beast, right? And then this card here boosts Machina, right? Other than the HP deducted to 1. So it's kind of a booster card for Machina, right? As we all know, Machina now is kind of starting out to be getting stronger and stronger, right? So this is going to be one of the more damage boosting active skill, right? So we're going to move on to the next card, which has a bit of a synergy towards this dark card as well. Alright, so the next card I'm going to talk about is the Fire Machina, named Epsilon. So its active skill at CD6 as well, right? But take a look at its active skill, right? So there is two, you can kind of say it's 2 types of active skill, right? Based on the condition that is that we are having here, right? So basically this active skill is Convert active, so at CD6. So it's a relatively normal kind of CD, right? So you can see Doris and Magic Lamp and stuff like that is also at CD6. So active skill, when HP is 1 upon skill activation, convert full board into fixed amount of Enchanted Fire and Enchanted Heart, right? Fixed amount and fixed position, meaning from leader to ally is gonna be Enchanted Fire, Heart, Fire, Heart, Fire, Heart, right? So it's gonna basically be a full board of Fire Heart convert, right? And it's gonna be in an arrangement similar to Azathoth, right? So no spinning needed, just move one position, and then it's gonna be a full 6 combo board. Right, so if not, it's gonna just convert the most left into Enchanted Fire and the most right into Enchanted Heart, which is it's quite a shitty skill if your HP is not 1. Right, so usually this card here is gonna be placed alongside with Sigma, the Dark Machina that I mentioned about just now, right, for a more effective burst. Right, but in my opinion, I find that if you want to do just to get this maximum value out of this card, you want to activate 2 active skill, I find that it's a bit not worth it, right, in my opinion. Right, so this card is going to be very situational in my opinion. So example can be the boss, right, which actually have foul play itself, brings your HP to 1, and then with that you can actually use this guy alone as an active skill, right, to convert the whole board into Enchanted Fire as well as Heart. So I would say that this fire card here is going to be a bit of less importance within the whole series. Right, so following, we're going to talk about the Earth Machina named Fee. Right, so CD is at 5, so it's going to be one of the faster charging CD within the series. Right, so CD 5, so for every 1 type of attribute, Dissolve recovers 10% of Machina members' HP, right, to the max of 50% HP. So 50% meaning 5 types of attribute Dissolve. Right, so this effect stays in play until reactivation or death. So it's a Machina Enchantress kind of active skill, right, that stays in play. So this is going to be one of the more useful card within the series, because Machina, as you guys know, recovery is pretty shitty. So this card here kinds of boosts the entire team recovery if you are running a mono Machina, in which most cards out there, right, Machina cards out there are running mono Machina for now, right, with the exception of Li Tie Guai. So this card here, I would suggest, I would say that it's one of the more game changing card for this entire series. Alright, so let's move on to the next card. Alright, so the next card we're going to talk about is the Water Machina Beta. Right, so this guy is at CD6 for his active skill. Right, so I would say that this card on his own is gonna be quite a bad card. Right, and then if you guys want to go for the water card, you will have to go for the light card, which I'm gonna explain or talk about in the next slide. Right, so let's talk about beta first. So active skill converts 2 random columns below Machina members into enchanted runes. So for 1 round, Machina attack and recovery times 1.3. So basically it's a booster card. 1.3 times for CD6 is a very weak kind of active skill. But in fact, Water Lino does the job better, in my opinion. Right, so beta on its own is not going to be very useful. Right, enchanting 2 random columns in which we're going to subject this to RNG, not a very good idea in terms of TOS gameplay. Right, so let's take a look at the final card in the series. So the final card in the series is the Light Machina called Alpha. Right, so Alpha and Beta have a fusion form in which I'm going to talk about it later. Right, so let's talk about Alpha on its own first. So Alpha here is a Light Machina at CD7 active skill. So for 1 round, self attack times 3. The more Machina member in the team, the higher the self attack to the max times 5 for 5 Machina present. So to get the most out of this card, you must run a mono Machina team, right, in which its active skill is going to boost its own self attack for 1 round all the way to times 5. So I think this is one of the cards that actually boosts self-attack for light members as a light attribute, right? So, but nonetheless, you have to run mono Machina for it to get that maximum times 5 boost. Right, so upon fusing the Water, Alpha and Beta card, we're going to get a new fusion form. So there we go, this is the fusion form of the Water Machina as well as the Light Machina, Alpha and Beta. Right, so I think the name is gonna be Beta Alpha, right, upon fusion. So you can take a look at this skill 1 and skill 2 is basically the same skill as the Water and Machina, Water and Light Machina, right? Basically it's just a more enhanced version. Right, so let's take a look on the active skill on the left, right, which is the Water Machina one. So it does have a bit of a change in active skill. Right, so instead of randomly enchanting 2 columns of Machina, right, it's gonna enchant every column below Machina members, right? So if you're running a mono Machina, this is basically gonna enchant the entire board. Right, so for 1 round, Machina attack and recovery times 1.6, so it's a slightly better active skill than the non-fusion form at 1.3 times, right? So upon fusion, you get a 1.6 time boost. So I would say that the first active skill is gonna be more useful instead of let me explain. Right, so basically a full enchant board is going to counter maybe like Quintet Enchanted Shield that Machina cards as of now are unable to do so, unless you activate some kind of Dragonic Compulsion to counter it. Right, so this is going to be a good addition to the Machina team gameplay. Right, so on the other hand, CD7, right, the skill 2 on the right is going to be the skill of the Light Machina. Right, for 1 round, self attack times 3, so basically times 5 to the max times 5, no change at all. Right, and then there is no cooldown difference. Right, CD6, CD7, which is basically the same with the non-fusion form. Right, so upon fusion of Beta and Alpha, fuel of all Machina members plus 20%. Right, so that's gonna be a quick charge for all Machina members in the team. Right, so I will find that this card here is going to be the most useful at its fusion form, which means that you need to draw both Alpha and Beta, which is going to be quite a challenge, right? So considering how much diamond I've spent on the Chinese New Year draw previously for the Zubajie and Gang, right? So basically that's all for the card review for this series. Basically what was more strong, I would say Fire is the weakest, right? And then I would like to see more gameplay for Alpha and Beta, so I'm going to be drawing them. And then of course the Dark one, which actually boosts Machina. And so the Dark one boosts 3 Machinas of the highest attack base stats, right? So if you're going to put in this fusion Alpha and Beta, that's going to be boosting a heck ton of damage. Right, so that's all for card review for this new series. Right, hopefully you guys like this review. Right, give a like if you enjoy it, and then I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.